Hello everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Total Package Show. I am Rajon Brown and season 7 and I'm happy to be here. This season we're having some hard conversations, the ones that I know you're gonna love because we're looking on the hard stuff. We're looking at forgiveness and I have some amazing guests lined up for you this season, and I know you enjoyed last week, right? This week is going to be interesting because I'm speaking to somebody that, kind of loves so much. She's very passionate about what she does. She's very passionate about life, and she's currently living with HIV. So people on a death sentence. Yes, I talk to somebody beside me with HIV, so it's not a death sentence. But this is episode you want to stay to understand more about it and be informed.
Come on over to the Total Package Show. Come on over to the Total. It's real, so much fun. Have a good time, yes you will. Got style, got class. Get in the zone with a Total Package Show. Come on over to the Total Package Show. Come on over to the Total Package Show.
Hello, my friend Alicia. Alicia, what's up?
Nothing much.
How are you?
I'm good.
You're just a glow. I love that you're living and loving life.
Amen.
I have in my hand your book, HIV, My Journey Through Grace. And, it's not a hard read. And it just looks so interesting. I don't finish reading it yet. But I will definitely finish reading. But we're going to talk. Give us 5 words that describe you.
5 words.
Mm-hmm. Apart from beautiful.
Loving,
Yeah.
caring,
Mm-hmm.
passionate about the things of God.
Mm.
So loving, caring, passionate about the things of God. Very understanding
Mm.
and
What more?
very loyal.
Loyal.
Yeah.
You're loyal. I love that.
Yes.
If I were you, how would I be feeling right now?
Positive,
Woo!
happy.
I love that. Positive, happy. I stumbled upon your journey, your story,
Mm-hmm.
and it is one that is not new to many people.
Right.
Your situation. And we're just gonna go, get a little backdrop of what that was like. But before, where are you from originally?
All right. I originated from Clarendon, but I was adopted at age 4. And I moved to Kingston at age 4.
So what is life growing up before adoption?
To be honest with you, I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I don't. There are little flashbacks that I get,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't recall what it was like before I was adopted.
Okay, so you didn't know your mother, your father?
It was very vivid pictures. So I just knew, like I remember when my adopted mom came,
Mm-hmm.
she came with the guy who is the supervisor
Mm-hmm.
where I used to work. And I remember my sister, who is a little bit older than me.
Mm-hmm.
I remember them.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being bathed like in a bath pan, but it's not clear.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like the past 4 years of my life, I can't really tell you, oh, I used to do this, I used to do that. No. I can tell you after, but not before.
So what do you know the reason for your adoption?
From what I was told, that my mother could not take care of me. So she wanted to give up her child for adoption. So the stories that I hear, one is that my adopted father, he was in the bathroom and he heard on Miss Monteith that there's a mother who can't take care of her child and she wants to give her up for adoption. But the reason why I came about was because my adopted mom, she already had 4 kids, couldn't have any more. She wanted another one, but she wanted a boy. But when she went to the hospital and she met this little boy, she fell in love with the boy. But then my adopted father heard the story about me, and that's how they ended up getting me.
So your purpose,
Yes.
you're destined. So, growing up in an adopted home, what was that like?
It was good somewhat. Being the youngest, so, everybody gone on them little outing and fun, and you have to be home with parents. And had to be stuck to go into Spanish Town on a Sunday to go look for your grandparents when your sisters and your brother is going out having them fun. So it was good. I mean, I was well taken care of, but we weren't that knitted where, it's always a hugging and they speaking into you. And one of the things that I've learned, you can't expect somebody to give you what probably they didn't get from their forefathers, right? So, but it was good, trying times, a lot of things were happening because I felt like I didn't belong because it wasn't my adopted parents who told me I was adopted. It was people who would come to the house and say, says Mr. So-and-so adopted daughter that. So growing up, I just started trying to research what does adoption mean, like at a very young age. So we had like counseling books in the house. So, and I was a very good reader. So I would just go and just be doing my investigation and stuff. So I think for me more it was learning that I was adopted, that these people were just not my biological family. And I think it took a toll on me.
How did it affect you in school?
Well, I think I was known as the trouble child, right? I became very suicidal at a very young age. So anything that I saw in the house called pills, I would just swallow them because I felt like I didn't belong. I was molested when I was younger. So that was happening too. Nobody knew about that. And I just started drinking, like anything I found in the house as form of liquor, because we have a mini bar. So I'd be mixing like 5, 6 different liquors together. So a lot was happening from learning that I'm adopted, going through prep school and then going into high school and then learning in high school in personal development class that these touches that you were feeling were not good.
So, who was doing the touching?
Next door neighbor, god brother.
So, at no point in time you felt like it was wrong or inappropriate, or you feel like you were just getting love, or you were.
To be honest with you, as I said, I don't remember much about before I was adopted. But when that was happening, it felt like I was already accustomed to it. So I don't know if before being adopted, if I was being tampered with. But it felt normal. It felt natural. As I said, is when before I went to high school, it was in prep school, a group of us were talking. I realized that we all had similar stories. And then when I went to high school in personal development class, that's when I realized that this was actually not good.
Wow. So, but how did you do in high school though?
How did I do?
Yeah.
I
Because you wrote a book, so you'd want to think that, you're a bright girl.
No, I wasn't. My grades were horrible. But there were teachers who saw the potential in me. So they knew that I was not pushing out my full potential. So I had teachers who would be like, come, I'm going to work with you. Because obviously there's something that is happening, but we need to get you. So I left high school with 3 CXCs. And then I took a break from school and then went to another school and got 3 more subjects, right? And then, as I said, these teachers saw the potential in me, but they knew that there was just a lot that was going on. So prep school, high school, to me, I would say it was troubled because of just things that I had to go through.
All right, so you were going through a lot at home.
Right.
And in your head.
Yes.
Because that's where most of it played out.
Right.
So what were some of the troublesome stuff you usually do to think that you're troubled? Because normally there are some children who are going through stuff, they're just withdrawn, they're just quiet, they don't get involved, they don't do all of that. Were you that type of kid or the opposite?
To be honest, as I said before, that the always taking pills. Like my sister, as I mentioned it in the book, would say that I'm a drama queen. But you can't say I'm a drama queen if you don't understand what is happening. So you'd hear, oh, you're moody or you're a drama queen. But at the end of the day, those little things would push me to either try to slit my wrist, to take the whatever I found, overdose, and to be drinking,
What
right?
age was this?
To be honest with you, I think I started probably 8, 9, around that region, yes, because it was going on for years.
All right, so now people are watching this. How can they identify with someone who are your age at the time that they are going through stuff? How can they pick it up?
All right, you're going to see behavioral changes. One, so the person probably who is normally outspoken would withdraw themselves. Or sometimes there will be an outburst. So the person's normally silent, but they're every little thing, there's an outburst for it. It could be that they're used to doing stuff, things that makes them happy. They're not doing it again. While they move from one extreme to doing things that we would call, you're just being promiscuous, you're just being rude, you're just being rebellious. But if you know the temperament of the individual, you're going to see signs and changes. And one thing that I've learned, I was so used to wearing a mask. So I'm just always this happy, bubbly person, but deep down. And I remember when I was at a wedding, and my uncle's wife said to me, "You need to stop wearing the mask." So I turned around, come here and said, "I wish I talked, I know me." And she said, "There's a lot of things I'd love to say to you, but I can't because I had a stroke. But you need to stop wearing the mask. You let people think that all is well, but deep down, you're not well." And that thing stood with me. And then when I got back into church, I realized that either she had the spirit of discernment or the prophetic was on her, but she was seeing something that others couldn't see.
So at this point in time, at home, your adopted parents, they weren't identifying with any of these.
To be honest with you, my mom and dad, they were working. So we had a helper. And as I said, my siblings were much older than me. So everybody doing their own thing, right? So even if they probably saw something, they just thought that I was acting out, I was being rebellious, I was just being rude. But that was not the case. Sometimes when somebody is crying out for help, which I didn't even know I was crying out for help, but when people are crying out for help, they cry out for it in different ways. And as I said, if you don't know the temperament of the person, you're going to think otherwise.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. All right. You have to be strong. All right. So let me ask you now, after high school, what was that like? What did you start to do?
Oh la la. High school, I think I became a walking bomb waiting to explode.
After high school?
After high school, yes. Because I grew up being in church. So we grew up in the Catholic church. So
Church, I'm going to make the nice, the one we have to quiet, A Catholic that? Or give a witness?
no, listen, the Catholic church where you do your wrong and you go.
Go to the priest.
Forgiveness.
Yes.
But so I grew up in the Catholic church. But even though growing up in the Catholic church, we're still going carnival. Still, yeah, we're still
in the Adventist church. We're still going carnival.
So we're having fun. So so it was church, it was home, it was school, and it was the doctor because I was a sickly child. So those are the four. Or I'm going to work with my parents. That was it. So from me reach 18, my sister said, "Come, we're taking you to the club." So yeah, man. So but the thing is, even though she took me to the club, I grew up in carnival. So I'm a jump Juve. Kiddies Juve, I'm a jump adult Juve.
In Jamaica?
Yeah, man. So listen, I was
soca junkie.
I was a soca baby, right? So
skin a scratching people. No, when you soca with skin a scratching.
So when my sister took me to the club, I'm say, "Yeah, man, girl, buck out. No, girl, nice."
Yeah.
So then and there, the drinking got worse. And not only drinking, like I'm smoking a 20 pack in less than half an hour. I didn't even reach 24 yet. Yeah, man. I was just waiting to die. Growing up, I just always felt like I didn't belong. And I thought the best thing ever was for me just not to be in this life anymore.
Let me ask you, do you believe that not having your parents contributed mainly to that? Do you feel in that way? Or you just feel you're just born troubled, if that's even possible?
To be honest with you, back then I didn't know what to think. I just always thought that I don't want to be a bother. I don't want to be a burden to anybody.
So what do you think now?
Sometimes sometimes I still do feel that way, where I just don't want to be a bother or burden to anybody. Like I try to hold my own, do my own thing, not to be in anybody's way, not to offend anybody. So I still somewhat feel that way, where I just hands up, all right, I'm gone. Like I always tell people, like I'm faster than Usain Bolt, Shelley and Fraser. Come I love run.
Oh, you run from everything.
I run from
As the problems start to run. I feel like I'm too far from you. But let me ask you, I'm going to ask you how you feel now about what you think contributed to what's the real problem. Not having your parents?
I think yes, getting that love and attention that a child needs. To hear I love you. Not saying I didn't hear it, but you didn't hear it enough. You didn't get that hug enough. You didn't get that. I mean, everywhere they're going, I was them hand back. But you wanted that, like what you would want if you have your child, how you'd want that bond, right? And as I said, looking back now, I can understand why. My father was strict. My dad didn't really have that close relationship with his mother. So me expect it because them don't have it, me forget it. Right. So, and it's because of things that I know now. I can look back and I honestly say that they couldn't give me what they themselves probably didn't get.
Wow.
Yeah.
Understand. All right. So, you say you smoke and you drink and you do run. Still at the carnival? At that time,
Maybe I did.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right. So life took a turn for you.
Right.
When you learned that you contracted HIV.
It surely did.
Oh, tell me about that day.
That day. It's been 17 years, but I'll never forget. I remember, let me backtrack to get to what you. I was talking to a guy, the first guy. So I've mentioned it on social media. So I labeled them guy number 1, guy number 2, guy number 3. No, I was not with 3 men at the same time. So let's just clear the air. So guy number 1, I met him a year before we got involved. And I'm the kind of person, once I know you're in a relationship.
You're not a homewrecker.
No, because I don't want you to do the same thing to me. So what I don't want for myself, I'm not going to do to somebody else. And he told me he lived with his baby mother. I said, all right, forget it. He said, we can't be friends. I said, no, what friendship mean. And I'm not doing this friends with benefit. Yeah, man. So we had stopped talking. So the following year, I was in a lot of pain because, as I mentioned, that I grew up being sickly. So I would always be feeling joint pain. So when I was at work, he stopped by the workplace and he was like, you don't look well. And I was explaining what happened. We exchanged numbers again. We ended up going out in the night, ended up sleeping on the first night.
Having sex on the first night.
Right. And it was unprotected. And it's when I went home, I said, Ali, what the hell did you just do? Like, what if you get pregnant? Like, back then.
Now we're about nothing.
No, back then you wasn't thinking out. No, back then HIV, AIDS, those things wasn't as how the numbers are right now. So you probably hear about a 1 case, 2 case. Nobody never did that about HIV, AIDS. So I didn't know said that it exists. So I was like, I just don't want to get pregnant. Was talking with him for a while till I realized that this man meant me no good. The only time he wanted to meet was when he wanted to have sex. So I ended the relationship, and I think probably a couple weeks after, which I'm now realizing that I don't like to be alone. Even though sometimes I want to be alone, but I don't want to be alone. So I entered another relationship. This guy was somebody who knew
This guy number 2.
Right. He knew me for years. And every time he wanted to get into a relationship with me, I was already in a relationship with somebody. So this time around, I was
clear.
Yeah, man, clear. But he wasn't clear. I was clear. He wasn't clear. But he said to me, him go home to him baby mother on the weekends. but she soon go away and him don't get the butterflies in the stomach as before. So I said, all right, since me here says she'll go away, let me probably try. It felt a little bit better, but it was somewhat of the same thing. And I remember the Lord was strategic that year that I ended up meeting Kevin Downswell. And Kevin and I became very close. So Kevin would know what was going on. And
Kevin was guy number 3.
No. No way. Listen, I met Kevin Downswell and Kevin was like, Ali, these men are not for you. You need to move away. And he said something that up to this day, I was like, Kevin, why did you say it? He said, Alicia, when God touches you, you're going to feel like it's a ball of lightning hit you. And I turned and I said, why would you ever say something like that? So I literally was with the second guy, but the first guy came back around. And what he would do, he would be playing with my emotions to get me to be soft-hearted, to get back to be in bed with me. And I would always wonder, he knows I'm with somebody else, so why are we not using protection? Because if me there with you and me left you and me go to him and you come back, you know business, you're going to want to use protection because you don't know what I was doing. And I remember one day, the first guy, he called me and we went on the road together and he said, Ali, I'm talking to you like a big brother. You can't jump from one relationship to the next.
The first guy saying that to you?
Yes, he's saying that to me. So I'm like, okay, what is for? Me say, you already know, so me left you and I'm with the second guy. Him say, you know, say, my sister in finance she have AIDS and she there war 21. To be honest with you, when he said it, it never registered. I'm just saying, why the hell is he telling me all of this? So with the second guy, I remember, before the second guy, after he told me that, I remember I was having that issue. I was having that issue down there. I went to my sister. My sister says, "It's ingrown here." So she gave me something. I didn't know back then that it was they call it a wax and kernel. The hardings with the lymph nodes and all of that. So I didn't understand anything about what was about to take place. And so when I went to the second guy, I literally left Genesis the following year to go to Genesis. And when I went to Genesis, I left from Genesis to go to the second guy's house.
So you have to leave a gospel concert to go to man.
Yeah, man. And with that, that was when the second guy was saying, listen, you can't be with him and be with me. And I was like, I'm not with him. It's just that him keep on thinking. So he was like, do you guys use a condom? I said, no, we don't. He doesn't want to. He said, but I'm going home to so-and-so. I was like, all right, we just start using condoms and stuff. I think for me, I just thought it was a man's duty to wear the condom to protect me. Because of things that I've been through, being molested and stuff. So, and there was no condom usage with anybody that I was with. So to me, it was like a norm. So if a man wanted to use it, fine. The only thing I worry about, don't get pregnant in any people them house. And I remember after he found out that I was with the first guy was coming back. The last time I slept with the second guy, we didn't have any condoms, and I said, you need to go get the condom. And him say, no, I'm too tired. So I'm just going to pull out. I was just used to men pulling out. So after that, this one guy, which is guy number 3, he was pestering me.
So you're find number 3 now?
Yes, he's pestering me. So I said, all right, probably if I give him a try, he will just back off after. So we're hanging out, having fun, and I only slept with him once. And I remember after I slept with him, I got a big tear. I was used to men having like, what Jamaican culture call it, daggering. So with rough sex, I was always getting that and always getting a tear. But this tear would not heal. The rest would heal, that one would not heal. So it was then and there, I decided I need to get myself checked out. And it's funny, as I'm talking to you, I remember one of my exes, not one of the 3 guys, I found out that he was cheating on me. And I said, any day I find out that I have AIDS, I'm going to kill you. not knowing that my words went ahead of me, just not for him. And I remember when I went to the doctor's office and went to the medical, because they had the, we call it the lab there where they would do the blood. And I said to her, can you test for all sexual stuff? So she said, all right, we have a panel which HIV was in it. And I wasn't worried. I just wanted to make sure that I was good because it was risky. When I got back that results, I was happy. When I tell you happy, I was happy. My sister, who was overseas at the time, she called and I was telling her what happened. She said, Alicia, you cannot look on somebody with your naked eyes and know if they have HIV. HIV doesn't have a face. And I remember we're talking and she said, Ali, just make sure you use condom and protect
So
yourself.
why were you happy when you got the result? Because you came back clean.
Of course. Sir, hello? So the fact that when it came back clean, my sister and I are on the phone talking. Rosie Stone, I don't know if you know the story of Rosie Stone and Carl Stone. She wrote a book, so she was in the newspaper. And my coworker said to me, Ali, read this. When I started reading, I said, I can't read it. I said, it's not that I have anything against persons who are living with HIV. It's just too touching. I'm like a ball. I love ball. So I didn't know that prior to all of that, weeks, I would have had to do a life insurance medical. Normally, my father deals with all of that. So I wonder, I mean, I've been to doctors all my life. I'm tired. But I had to do a medical. So when I went to do the medical, he calls guy number one. He asked me where I was. I told him. He asked me what I was doing. So I told him. So he said, so what make you have to do that one? I'm like, what? Brother, it's a part of the requirement. So make you have to do that one. I said, brother, it's a part of the requirement. I said, but why are you worried? I said, I'm not worried. I said, I tested last month and I'm good. Because I tested in March, end of April, I have to do the medical.
So did you have sex with him after the tested?
Did I? I don't recall.
Okay.
But even if I did, it wouldn't have showed up. And I'm going to explain why. So when I did the medical, the doctor asked me, regular questions, family history, any underlying. Some said, doc, them said me diabetic from me a teenager, I trouble with sinus and I trouble with severe joint pains. And sometimes having a breathing problem. That's all I know. So I tell her what I know from a biological side and thing there. So she said, well, whatever it is, we'll be able to pick it up in the blood. So I'm like, all right, God, I just hope it's not cancer. And when I got the results, I kept on missing calls from the insurance place. But I'm not logically thinking, I'm just saying, why is my godfather calling me from the work phone? Why you not just call cell to cell, bro? Right? And I missed the call until I think it was May 21st. It was a Monday. I'll never forget it, 2007. I got a call from the insurance place. I answered. And the doc said, how long we've been trying to reach out to you. So I explained to her, I said, I think my uncle, my godfather called me, why he didn't call me from cell to cell. And she said, we need you to come in. We got your results. So I hear me with my bright self. So doc, it good or bad? She says, we can't discuss that over the phone. I'm like, okay. I said, can I come in now? She says, no, we're closed. I said, all right, tomorrow morning, bright and early.
So did you sleep?
I can't even remember if I slept.
You said, come in, say a problem is that,
No, I didn't know. When she said come in, I didn't take it to mean anything because normally you go to the doctor for your results. So I'm not thinking, me get them deny me, nothing. So I remember I called guy number one and I wanted to find out why would the insurance place call me. So he said, what and what you did. So I told him. He said, that's what you have. I said, what? He says, that's what you have. Now I can say thank God for Jesus and him saving grace, because when I don't light him up with bad word. Yeah, man. So I said, but if I have it, you have it. Him said, no, we just got dead and done. Listen, when I went to the doctor's office the next day, a lot of things were happening. The iron drop, number one at the house. The candles that was on the toilet tank, that fell off. So, Jamaicans say spin your roll. So I spin the roll in the bathroom and I wore full black. Anytime I wear full black, is not a good sign.
No four black hair man. So, oh yeah, but that's a brown.
Right? And when I went there, the doctor said to me, close the door. Normally, doctor not tell me for close doors. Me always said, Doc, can you close the door, please, for my privacy? She asked me to step out for a minute and come back in. I said, have a seat. She says, your diabetes is out of control. I said, tell me some women I know now. You see, when she said the HIV, I literally saw those letters floating. My eyes became very cloudy and I was just crying. And I said, Doc, I don't understand. I don't understand. She said, it could be a lab error. Oh God, I wish it was a lab error. She asked me for all the names of the persons that I was with. From me a little girl till that time, then me give her every name. And after I did that, she says, oh, you don't have to call them. We will call them just to let them know that, it is being suspected that you may be at risk, whatever. So no trace leading back to you. But to be honest with you, I thought it was my point of duty. I was with them. So I remember when I left the office, she recommended for me to do another test because it could have been a lab error. I went over to the doctor's office, did it, waited for the results. It came back, I think, within a couple of days. Let me tell you this. When I got back to work, I texted him and I said, it is what it is. He said, good luck to you, girl. So he knew that I was going to get the results. So then and there, thank God for Jesus and him saving grace. I mean, it light him up again. He literally came to my workplace. And this is when things started. I started realizing, I would have flashbacks. He had, we call it eczema. He was very sickly. No, Messa, the first me ever meet somebody was sick every month like me. But I wasn't picking up. And his son always had this rocking cough. And I said, something isn't right. So it was then and there when he came. I said, you remember you have a son. You need to go get tested. My girl, what you talk about? I said, it looked like you knew you had it. Right? And, he almost hit me over with his car that night. And when I called my ex, and I said to him, I wanted to tell him, he said, oh, that's why guy number one called me and was saying this, that. And I said, what? No, have it in mind that my ex knew him and he was drinking with him, and I would say, stop drinking with him because he's laughing in your face. So I'm there with your ex now. Right? I called the second guy. He said that, boy, the one thing him say, I'm not going to dead from and that I going to kill him. And he started accusing me that I knew I had it. And if him catch it, he might send somebody to come wipe me out. So I had to remind him, I said, anything in the dark must come to light. Remember the last time we had sex? I told you to go get a condom, and you said you're too tired. The third guy, I literally had cut him off because he started to stalk me. So I had cut him off until one day I saw him again, and I told him, and his response was, sorry to hear you're taking your meds and stuff. So he took it a little bit too calm. But to tell you, the past 17 years, it has been a journey. I almost died 4 years ago.
But before though, so guy one, so who you believe gave it to you? Guy one.
I believe it's guy number one because of what he said.
So guy 2 and 3 would be affected as well.
No, because one thing that I've learned with HIV/AIDS, it's dependent on your immune system. So I can be positive and be my husband, because we're still legally married. He's HIV negative. And when I was literally at death's door, because he decided he wanted to go unprotected, and he said, God told him, I said, brother, you want God must know what not do, because God forbid if you catch this thing, I don't know how I would live with myself. So during that time, I was not undetectable at that time. Undetectable is where I can't pass it on to my partner. In fact, I don't even think when I found out undetectable was even in the pipeline.
They'd have taken meds for a while.
Right. But I didn't even know of undetectable. And it so happened that he decided to go unprotected. So we were trying to have, a child and stuff. Didn't work out. So when I went downhill in 2019, And when we went to the doctor, because my skin started to break out, but it had nothing to do with HIV. But what HIV does is to bring out other underlying illnesses. So in 2019, it was confirmed that I developed psoriasis. So
What is that?
psoriasis is an autoimmune disease that affects your skin. So it's like eczema, but worse than eczema. So when the doctor checked my CD4, which was 20, and we didn't do the viral load yet, so 20, I'm confused because I'm saying, Doc, I'm on my meds. Oh, we reach at 20. I'm supposed to be up. The higher your CD4 is, the better for you. The lower your viral load, the better for you. So my CD4 was low. My viral load was 817,191. Your viral load is supposed to be under 100 and under. So you're looking on somebody who should have been dead, buried. You're looking at a Lazarus, I should say. Right? And then and there I say, God, he must have it now. You can't tell me say don't have it. Because if my numbers are out of whack, he must get it. When he did that test, he was negative. And I remember sometimes I would think about it. I wonder if he's lying because he don't want me to feel away. But he wasn't. He's good. So HIV AIDS is a little bit tricky. I think it have to do with the immune system. It have to do with God and God.
God and God alone. Well, we're gonna go into it. But whoa. That's an interesting story. But we can just play a game. Yes, play a game. Cotton Rose name of the game because I'm getting a little bit chilly over here. All right, so the name of the game is called Cotton Rolls. In our hands, we have our tools, right? So we have plates, we have cottons, we have a spoon, and we have a mask, right? So the aim of the game is to get as many cotton in just 30 seconds out of this plate onto the plate on your head without seeing it.
This is impossible.
Okay, we'll see about that. So we're going to put on our mask and then we're going to put the empty plate.
I don't trust you.
You want to put the empty plate?
I don't trust you.
So put on your mask.
No, you help me to put on my. Okay.
Yeah, just put it on, right? So this is your empty plate. That's going to go on your head.
On my head.
Right, and this is. Nobody drop it off. No, you can't balance things for your head.
So I have to use the spoon?
Hold on. Yes, don't make this drop off of your head.
That's impossible.
It's impossible to drop off your head? See the spoon here? So what you're going to do is you're going to take the cotton from the plate and put it on the one on your head. Let me just put on my mask.
If he's cheating, let me know.
No cheating, no peeking. All right.
So I can take up as much cotton with the spoon.
Yeah, at the end of 30 seconds, the person with the most cotton on their head wins. Okay. All right, ready? Time on the clock? 1, 2, 3.
All right.
What are you going on? How much you put up already?
Why feel like you took out of my...
No, I'm going to take out
yes, you did.
No. Wait! I have mercy. Hold on.
30 gone?
30 seconds?
It's gone?
Time. All right, take the one off your head. Take off your mask.
You cheated.
So she put up all of that?
Yes, I did. Roll back.
So we mind them there. No, like really? All right, you're with me. I'm going to sketch somebody else today, you know? So you found out, and what was life like?
After? I saw the true side of people who I loved, I cared about. I would spend my last. I'd give away everything. I saw how they turned. There were comments like, if you come to my house, I'm going to have to always have bleach in my house. You can't eat out of the same pot. Your food can cook in there, but you can't eat out of the same pot. Your clothes have to wash separately. And when the person said it, I was shocked because this person was in the healthcare, right? I would hear, it's the AIDS girls bag, on a youth camp that I went to, right? I just always say, like, many persons thought I was dead. So when them see me, them shock.
So how did your story become public? How did people know about it? From the get-go, were you open about it?
Yes, I was. I remember my sister and I, was when I went overseas. My two sisters here knew about it. My sister overseas didn't know, neither did my brother at the time. Because my sister, we didn't want her to be worried because she's always worried. So I told her I had to come back home, and then I went back up, and she was saying to me, Ali, this could have happened to me. It's just a grace and mercy of God. And when she said it, I was like, really? Like hearing that from your sister, I was like, whoa. And she said to me, Ali, you've always wanted to be a peer counselor. Now you have the opportunity to talk to young girls. And I was like, yeah, you know, you're right. And I said, God, what the enemy meant for evil, you turn it around for my good and for your glory. And that's how I started. I just started with close family friends till I did something within the same year, finding out. To me, it was like a candle vigil. It's for me celebrating life for what it is now, not for what it was. So I wanted to do like a annual thing. So I started out, you know, and persons would come. I got like Ainsley to come to give talk to edify persons and stuff. And I remember a pastor friend of mine, he looked at me and he said, Alicia, I see God taking you places. I see God taking you to schools, workplaces, churches, you name it. And I said, really? And here I am 17 years later.
You're looking good.
Thank
Looking
you.
good. For season 7 of the show that we're looking at forgiveness, and this is a question that I want to ask you. Let's start with the molestation. The persons who have molested you, where are they now?
Somewhere.
They're there.
Wherever.
How do you feel about that? Do you think you'd have forgiven them for doing that to you?
Verbally, I'd say I've forgiven, but the memories are still there.
But do you feel like you have? Because when you forgive somebody, you feel different. When you don't, you feel bitter, you feel angry, you feel like you just, do you feel that way?
I can be around the persons, but I rather not be around them if I don't have to. But I can hold a conversation with you. But I think a part of me is not that I haven't forgiven you. It's just the memories that are there that keeps on from time to time. They're being triggered.
And the persons who would have given, because HIV is not a death sentence now.
Never was.
So never was, but because of education or lack thereof, you know, people would have been fall victim.
Right.
So the persons, guy 1, 2, 3, they are all alive now and well.
All right. I know that guy number 3 died. He reached out to me, but Ian had said, I'll leave it alone. Right. So I don't know, probably he wanted to say, I'm sorry. Because to be honest with you, when I found out, like I literally went before the Lord and I said, God, I pray that they don't have it. I know it's weird because I must have contracted it from somebody, but I pray that none of the 3 of them have it. Just let me alone have it. Them have them family, them have things. Because you remember I was a walking dead waiting to die. I just wanted to be out of this world. So let them live them life. And I said to the Lord, Lord, I forgive them. Whosoever it was, even if they knew they had it, I forgive them. All I just want to hear is, Ali, I am sorry. So I can ask the question, why?
So you say you forgive them. How easy was that? Like, cause I mean, when somebody have done, it's different from where you cut me up on my hand. And you know, you can heal and you can always cover it up or wear a long sleeve shirt and something.
Right.
But when you know that somebody have given you a sickness that you would have to live with for the rest of your life, it impacts different aspects and areas of your life. How could you forgive somebody like that?
To be honest with you, I think it was just the God in me. Yeah, I think it was the God in me. And I think I'm just overall a person that just forgives and let things go. So if we can move past it, we'll move past it and stuff. I look at myself to try and always be the bigger person, irrespective of what somebody does. Right? So yes, I did forgive. As I said, I just wanted to hear why you did it. After all the hell that I've been through, which they all knew the hell that I've been through, why would you do something like this?
So did you end up having a conversation with any guy 1, guy 2?
Guy number 1, yes. Guy number 2, he blocked me for like 5 years. Like I felt tormented for 5 years because I just wanted to know if he was okay. Guy number 1, guy number 3, I always encourage to get tested. And I was like, listen, like at one point I was adamant to find out who gave it to me. So I started thinking, I'm going to drug this person and draw his blood. I just want to know because of what he said.
So did guy 1 or 2 confirm that they are HIV positive to date?
Everybody says that they're negative.
To date.
Well, I can't vouch for the guy who is dead. But
Right, no, guy 1 and guy 2 said them negative.
Yeah, man, both of them said them negative.
And you were confident that you didn't have sex with nobody else.
Listen, every person that I've been with, I've told them to go get tested. Nobody has ever come back and said, Alicia, I am positive.
That means that you just wake up with your what do you drink?
I would use, because I'm on camera, I would tell you off here what I said to myself, but because I'm on camera, I'm going to behave for today.
Oh, today.
That's for today. Yes.
But that's sad though. So everybody that you have spoken to saying, but you know.
Yeah, from what guy number 1 said. But it's been 17 years. I still don't know who gave it to me. Do I want to know now? What difference does that make, bro? I mean, God has been good to me. I should have died 4 years ago, and I'm here today being an author, being a minister of the gospel, and God is doing great things. So, I mean, I don't think I want to know anymore.
The important question that I'd want to ask you, do you forgive you? Because we oftentimes leave out that part there, you know?
Sometimes I think I do. And then I guess when everything comes crumbling, I'm hard on myself. And I just feel like, all right, Ali, it's better you not be here. But I think because of things that happened from my childhood, it's in a mix. So it's not only forgiving that you got infected with HIV and you should have been more responsible, but there are other things that you feel like it was your fault, right? So I think I'm in the working that out process.
Because that's important, you know, because it doesn't happen
overnight
like that, you know?
Right.
It's a constant progress that you have to be deliberate about. You have to know that this is so, and this is what I need to do.
Right.
So I love you for that. And would have heard that when Jody said that, you know, it makes it look better. You know?
Yeah. One thing with forgiveness that I've learned, forgiveness is not for
the other person.
Other person is for you, because it keeps you from being in prison. Yeah, it keeps you from being in prison. Right. So forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. Because listen, I heard Bishop T.G. Jakes say this. His wife kept on complaining about a particular church sister. And one night he had to look on her and say, let me ask you a question. Who is in the bed with me? So we're there busy focusing on them with unforgiveness and bitterness and anger. Them not even remember say them did hurt you. Them a live for them life. And you there a ball every single day. Lord, you know, say Tom did do this. Johnny did do that. But that sometimes, have you ever thought about what did I do to contribute? Because we like to play the blame game.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. All right, so you're an author.
Yes,
people.
I am.
The book here is on the screen. A picture of it is on the screen right here. It says HIV, My Journey Through Grace. What inspired this?
My journey.
Your journey. Because a lot of people is going through this, you know, but they don't decide that they want to write. They don't want to talk about it. But because your sister said that, you know, you could be an inspiration.
Right.
So you decide you're going to pen it. But you're a bright girl.
But not
You
only
come out of school with 3 subjects. You know?
6, sir.
6 now, you go back on the 3 more. Bright girl, people will come out with 50, don't have nothing. You know, for sure. When there's some children, you know, children are good. But yeah.
What has inspired me is my walk with God. And the fact that many persons have not lived. It wasn't the virus that killed them, it was the underlying. But they died without their voice being heard. And I've seen what God has done with me for the past 17 years. So for me, it's all about God. And that's what inspired me to write, to show people that, listen, no matter what you're going through, once God is in the midst of it, you can smile at any storm.
Wow.
And broken crayons still can color.
Oh, broken crayons still can color, and color even better. I think in chapter 3 of the book, you spoke about finding me. Finding, let me see. Yeah, yeah. Finding Me, chapter 3.
Oh yes, that's when I fully recommitted to the Lord.
Mm.
Right. As I said, I grew up in a Catholic church, so we had a little thing here and there and stuff. But in 2010, that's when, as I met Kevin Downswell and I met other gospel artists, the Lord had me on a journey, and that journey brought me back to Him.
That's when you really found yourself.
Right.
Wow. All right. And since then, you know, lose it.
I thought last year I lost it, but I'm still holding
What's
on
happened
to
last year?
I ended up in a relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and this person knew of my situation, and he was one who said, like every other man, so what, we can't be friends, you can't have friends, because I keep on telling them I'm not looking anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And we got close. This was like after my mother passed, so like I went downhill, and like every single day I would hear the HIV thing I would hear it would be thrown into my face. People are laughing at you. You're a laughing stock. All you're doing is just talking your business. And it reached a point where I started questioning God. I said, God, after all that I've been through for the past 17 years, going to schools, going to workplaces, going to churches to testify, people are coming home to you. Backsliders are coming home. I did this for nothing. So might as well just shut down the whole ministry thing and everything. But I knew it was the plan of the enemy. Because every time they come at me, there's always something waiting for me to open up my mouth and speak again.
Wow. But you were married, or you are still married, but separated. So you found love.
Yes, I did.
So the book says a complicated and compelling life story about faith, hope, love, and HIV. So you found love.
I did.
Through hope. So how long was that?
We are technically married for 8 years. Well, 9 years, but we're separated for a year. But I can tell you that I did indeed find love. This man, Ian, he has never missed a doctor's appointment. He never missed a speaking engagement. Even doing this interview, behind the scenes, I pray, right? But it's just sad that it didn't work out the way we wanted it to work out.
So was he HIV positive as well?
No, he's not.
Oh, so there's hope. So even though somebody who's watching this might be HIV positive, you can be with somebody who is not. And he accepted you for who you are.
Oh, yes.
That's why I tell you the theme for this show is authenticity creates an audience. And once you're your authentic self, you will create the audience for you, which you did. So you have love and you wanted children that didn't work out.
Right.
No, you're separated.
Right.
I mean, so I don't think you
but
can
we're
work
good friends. No, we're good friends. We're best friends and ministry partners. But in terms of the marriage, being married for 8 years and never living with your partner, and we live in the same country, that kind of hard.
Oh, so you married but you never lived together?
We never lived together, not once. And like every year it was you promising me that things are going to get better. And it didn't. And you say, give me till the end of the year. No, I love you. There's genuine love. We both love each other, but finances and for whatever reason. And we both decided that, okay, he wants me to be happy. So he's willing to let go just for me to be happy. Because I stood there for 8 years. 8 years being there with you.
Why you think him never marry you? Not marry you, come live with you and start a thing. Is that you think he couldn't, or?
To be honest with you, I just think we both just couldn't afford it financially. I think that's what it is.
So not gonna be hungry together?
No, to be honest, like many persons ask that question, and the only thing that I've seen in this man since the 12 years that I've known him is a good man. So the only reason.
But everybody wants a good body, a good man. Everybody wants a good man. So why would you let a good man go?
Because I think we're good together with ministry.
But not relationally.
We're good together relationally, but it's just that It's just not the way how, like, as a man is supposed to be. Pushing you, like even pushing you in ministry. You know you're called for ministry. Get in line.
Yes.
You're preaching to other people about the word of God and becoming who. But you yourself is not becoming. And that bothers me. So there are a lot of underlying contributing factors. Right.
So you think you're happy?
If I'm happy now, I'm trying to be. I'm trying to. Coming out of a 1 year relationship that became abusive.
Physical?
Yeah. I somewhat blame myself for it because he made me very insecure. So going through the phones and stuff, and when I saw certain messages, like I would slap you, push you. But to what I got, dirty water thrown at me, head hitting in the wall, you spitting on me, you
And this was a year ago?
Yeah, a year ago. Yeah. So after I came out of the relationship with my husband, yeah, I started. And it's been a year.
Wow. So how are you dealing with that now?
To be very honest with you, like I felt like a monster was created. I felt like I lost myself. I lost everything. But I am holding on and I'm trying to get back at that place. I am currently getting to know somebody.
Again?
Yes, we see how far that goes.
Oh, because you said you don't like to be alone?
Right. I'm learning that I don't like to be alone.
Well, I'm praying for the best for you because we all need love. We understand, and I don't believe that we're designed to be alone, even though sometimes nice alone.
So true.
But God orders our step, and I just pray
Right.
that you
Continue to order.
pray that He orders your step. And once you know who you are, do you think you know who you are and what you want and all of that?
I know what I want and I know whose I am. I belong to Him. So whatever decision that I have to take is being made in Him. So if I have to be single, to be in God and to become who God has called me to be, then I'll be single.
I love that. I love that. Once that is so, I'm good with that. Your book, HIV, My Journey Through Grace, Alicia Edwards. Where can we get this to buy? Anderson. Sorry, not sure where I say Edwards.
That's my future husband's name.
Where can we get this book to buy?
All right, so you can get it at York Pharmacy in Halfway Tree, or you
For
can
just
get it,
$200. I joke.
or you can get it on Amazon. So, and on Amazon you have the paperback and you have the ebook.
Okay, HIV, My Journey Through Grace. So if you're watching this or know anybody that is living with HIV, I'm sitting with somebody who is positive and look good, sound good, and is inspiring others. So it's not that taboo anymore or something that you should be scared of. This book, it's not so heavy of a read, and that's what these are the books I like. With just 9 chapters, it talks about her childhood, the journey begins, finding me, the death sentence, truth about HIV, AIDS, living with it. There is still hope in chapter 7, and she spoke in chapter 8 where her faith was tested, and ended off chapter 9 with amazing grace. And we're going to end today by talking about the hope that you have. So your hope is firm, and there's hope. What do you have to say to somebody out there who is watching this now, who might have gone through similar things like you, would have been probably abused, and living with HIV, or even don't know them have it?
All right. There is a saying that is said in Jamaica: "One not dead, not that shit wet." Right. We've all gone through stuff. Doesn't matter how small it is or how big it is. We are all going through or have gone through stuff. But let Christ be your anchor. He's the one that has been keeping me all my life. There are many attempts of committing suicide, but I'm still here. Being in a car accident where I should have been dead, but I'm still here. when I should have lost my mind, but I'm still in my right mind. As I said, keep Christ as your anchor. Let him direct you. Let him be that all in one for you. It's not going to be easy. It's not. Like even what I went through for the past year, I didn't know that I could have even be here today because I just felt like I'm done. I felt like I lost ALICIA. Like I'm not the ALICIA that I was before, but it's because of God. And one of the things he told me last year, I've allowed you to go through, to come through, to bring others through. So the fact that he's brought me through it, he definitely will bring you through it. So just hold on to God. For persons who are living with the virus, I always encourage go back to the dreams and visions that you had before you were infected. If somebody told me 4 years ago that I would have actually got that book published, it was over 10 years I've been working on that book, and here it is today. If you told me that I would have been an ordained minister, I'm going to ask you, well, yes, because I'm not into titles or position. I'm just like, for doing my thing, I'm good. And God is doing amazing things. If he has done it for me, he definitely can do it for you. So go back to those dreams and visions and don't part them. Take them back up and live life. HIV is not a death sentence. I thought it was 17 years ago, but I realized that I'm living a normal, healthy life. And stick to your meds. Don't be like me, who did on and off on it because I said that I believe in God and I believe in his healing power and I'm standing on faith. With nothing is wrong with that, but stick to your meds and let God do his work. And go live a normal, healthy life and be happy. And as you ask a question, know who you are and whose you are.
Awesome. Authenticity does create an audience, and thank you for allowing me to be my authentic self and have my nice, authentic friend right here. So we write our book and stuff and give such a motivational speech. People, you're not going to pay for that. You're not going to pay. Come in the room for that. Awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love. Oi, people. Me go me a boy. I love it. So until next week, when I bring to you another exciting episode, please remember to live your dream. Remember to love. And send somebody over here to like, share, and subscribe this channel so we can share Alicia's story to inspire somebody else. The book is at Fontana.
No.
Not Fontana, York Pharmacy. We can get over Fontana. And then go on Amazon and learn some more about Alicia. Follow her. Her social media handles are right here. See them right here. So follow her. Invite her to your church. Invite her to your seminar, to your office, wherever you are. She's open. She'll talk and she's not going to let no stone unturned. So until next week, see you.
Come on over to the Total Package Show. Come on over to the Total. It's real, so much fun. Have a good time, yes you will. Got style, got class. Get in the zone with a Total Package Show.